I got into real estate in 2016, officially. Unofficially, I've been doing it since I was 4 years old. My whole family has been in real estate. My grandma was a realtor, my dad was a landlord, and so it's just kind of been around me for as long as I can remember. Hi, my name is Cassandra Smith, also known as Cassie, and I am a realtor with Windermere Group 1. I am a wife of 10 years this year and a mother to 3 little girls. I grew up in the Tri-Cities. I've been here since I was a little baby. Did a little bit of time down in Portland, Oregon, but knew when it was time to raise a family that this is where I wanted to do it. Real estate's always been something that I've been interested in. I loved going to work with my grandma. We were really close, and so just getting to experience that life, the flexibility of it, the adventure of it, the getting to help people and just be a part of their story has always been so interesting to me. And so it just kind of seemed like a natural progression for me to fall into that role. I've always loved working with people. I've been in customer service since I got my first job. There's nothing I've ever done that hasn't been customer service oriented. And so it just kind of felt like the natural progression for me, and it's a perfect fit. I can't imagine doing anything else. The things that I learned from my previous jobs are just people skills, how to handle different personalities and how to just kind of manage people's emotions throughout a stressful process. In running weddings, as far as an event planner, you deal with very heightened emotions. It's a very big part of their life. It's a very important move and decision and day, and so the house buying process is very similar to that. It's a big decision. It can be a very emotional process, and so I think I took a lot out of that job and can translate that into what I do here. Integrity is huge. You have to be willing to do the job that is required of you, whether somebody's looking or not. In some markets, when it's a seller's market and you can put a house on the market and it's going to sell, that's great. But are you going through the steps that you would in a buyer's market to still make that home shine and to still do the best job you possibly can for your client? So integrity would be huge. Communication, obviously, one of the biggest complaints is that realtors don't communicate well. And I think that there's poor communication as a society sometimes just because of our generation. But communication is huge for realtors, so staying in constant communication with my clients and making sure that they understand the whole process and that they feel in on it the whole time. They don't feel like they've been left behind and that the transaction's just going on along without them. When a buyer reaches out to me for the very first time, the first thing that I do is get them one of my home buyer packets, which has all kinds of information from the process, what it looks like start to finish, to referrals for lenders so that you can get pre-approved, to inspectors that you're going to use once you find a house and you're under contract. So just chock filled with information. So I get that to them, and then the next step would be to set up a one-on-one appointment that we can sit down and really dive into what you want in your house and get the search started. Piece of advice for buyers would be slow and steady wins the race. So don't just dive in head first without doing all the necessary steps, getting pre-approved, things like that. But also don't just dive into that first house because you love it so much. It's okay to make sure that you understand what's out there, what's available to you, and really understand the market and how this market that you're in currently affects the whole process for you. Is it going to be a really fast market? Do you need to act quick? Is it a slower market where you can really take your time and focus? Just make sure that you understand, you have all the knowledge possible out the gate so that you can enjoy the experience and not feel overwhelmed. Actually, listings are my very favorite because there's a lot of marketing that goes into it, and I really, really love that aspect of it. But also, I'm a numbers girl, so I really like to crunch the numbers in the market of your neighborhood. So I really like to make sure that you are priced perfectly to get the most potential buyers to look at your house, but also get you the best offer on those houses. And the best offer doesn't necessarily mean the price. It can be the whole entire package. I want to make sure that you get the whole entire package for your house. Best advice that I can get to sellers is don't wait to talk to your realtor about the process until you find a house that you want to buy. Make sure that you start that process a few weeks, maybe even a month before you're really ready to start shopping for your next house, because then you can make sure that when your house is ready to go on the market, it is absolutely market ready and you will get the best possible traction. Windermere is, it's not even just Windermere. Windermere is a great company because I mean, it's been around for a really long time. It has a great established name, but Windermere locally, the leadership within Windermere, whether it's our CEO or our sales manager or our managing brokers, the overall leadership inside Windermere, the partners that we have, the shareholders, this whole group, this collection, this huge collection of people who have such a passion for the company and its trajectory and the way that it treats its people, the way that it treats its community is huge. There's just no other option for me. So dedicated to unlocking the power of ownership. It's really like owning your first home, owning any home is this huge accomplishment for most people. I got to buy my first house when I was 23 years old. I was a single girl and I got to do it all by myself. And so the sense of accomplishment that I had in that act was huge as a young woman. And I think that that motto really goes for anyone who's purchasing a home. The power of home ownership is huge, and it's a milestone in your life. So the fact that Windermere gets to be a part of it is pretty cool. So what I think sets me apart from local competition is the passion that I have for it, the passion that I have for my people, really the passion that I have for the industry, and really just upholding its professionalism and making sure that it's a respectable industry as a whole, and that it's something that people value and really appreciate for years to come. Things are changing, technologies are always changing, and so it's really nice to be that personal touch in somebody's life and really make sure that they're just taken care of.